It's July, and if the previous couple of years are anything to go off of, that means it is a new Kamen Rider catalog scan time. However, it's supposed to be in a week or so. The actual catalog scans, I don't think, should be coming quite yet. It should still be another few days. And we've already got quite a bit more information about Zero-One, quite a lot more images and stuff to go off of. The problem is, well, because we don't have any catalog scans, it's too early to say what's real and what's fake. So I'm gonna take you through some of these new Kamen Rider Zero-One images we have and talk about them a little bit. Of course, if all you want to do is just see the images on their own, I'll have the links to the sources in the description as usual. So the first couple of images are both from people in Japan who have claimed to have seen Zero-One's suit in person. Now, before you immediately see these sketches and go, these probably aren't real, the same thing happened for Build, actually. A very similar situation happened for Build, where someone sketched out Build's suit before it was officially revealed, claiming that they saw it in person, and the sketch lined up almost perfectly to Build's actual design. So, you know, anything could be real. Now, of course, these two sketches are by completely separate people from a completely separate time, yet they line up decently well, and they also line up with the previous things we already talked about the rider being neon yellow. Now, you're probably wondering, where's the sunglasses? Where's the beanie hat? That's a pretty major part of the rumors so far. Well, since then, it's been figured out that, hey, maybe the sunglasses and beanie hat thing isn't talking about the rider itself, but instead the civilian form of the rider. Maybe this civilian who's a hacker wears a beanie hat and sunglasses, and the actual rider, of course, doesn't. I could see that. I still like the idea of the rider itself wearing sunglasses that kind of go up and down on his face, like, so they could be on his forehead, and they could also be covering his eyes. But I could also believe that it's the civilian rider, and not him transformed himself, that wears the hat and glasses. So, that's that. But there's also, you know, the hacker theme and the neon yellow part of the rumor, and both of these fit that. Both of these, and this will be very, very important in a sec, both of these look like plain black suits that kind of have the armor like attached to it, which could be how the power-up system for this series will work, where like the yellow armor could come off, revealing the plain black suit, and then like a different colored armor could go back on again, activating a power-up. And both of them also give us a little bit of a look at the belt. Both of them seem to look like we have this yellow circle in the middle that'll maybe be the collectible. I don't know, we'll see. That doesn't fit with the silhouette we had earlier though, because the silhouette we had earlier seemed to reveal that the collectible gimmick was going to be some kind of SD card. And again, bear that in mind, because that's kind of important. I quite like both of these, you know, I don't hate them. I like how simple they look. You know, they look very kind of cougar, which is kind of what I want, you know, first Heisei Rider, first Reiwa era Rider. And so I like having a more simple, back to basic sort of suit. So I quite like the look of these, but it's too early to say for certain as to whether or not they're real. Sure, they line up with a lot of the rumors and stuff, and they do look very, like they could be very hacker themed, but it's too early to say because, well, it's just a drawing, you know? That's the problem. It's very difficult to say how real any of this stuff is until the actual catalog scans are out, you know? Which is where we get to our next image, which was released earlier today. And this seems to be depicting, well, Zero-One again, and you've already noticed that this looks completely different to the rumors and the sketches. But the problem is that this one looks the most legit. Now, of course, this could be, I've seen people Photoshop, like, where they take different parts of different rider suits, like, from photos, and then kind of mash them together, and then, like, recolor them and edit them and stuff to create a fairly, like, real-looking fake suit. So that could be what this is, but this does look like a photo of a suit. Does that mean it is? Too early to say, of course, but like you'll see on his head he has like a 0 and on his chest he has a 1. One thing I've seen so far is unanimously everyone seems to hate this design that I've seen. I don't hate it all too much, but this does lend credence to the rumor that maybe this could be real and the sketches could also be real, because as I mentioned earlier, the other ones have like this plain black suit underneath them that have the armor kind of go onto. So what if this what if this image we're looking at now is a similar type deal to something like Kabuto or Den-O or X-Aid, where we kind of have a pre-base form suit, a suit design that doesn't really do anything. So for example, in Den-O, they have like a pre-base form suit that they don't really fight with or anything, and they kind of have to activate their first proper, parrot, where they have to cast off to activate the suit proper. And then with X-Aid, that's a different deal entirely, but X-Aid also has a pre-base form suit. So, what if that's this? What if the yellow armor goes on top of this? Of course, it does contradict the sketches even then, because this image is more of like a dark blue rather than outright black. But remember, these sketches can be drawn by people who see the suit from very kind of far off and far away rather than close up, and they only see it for a few seconds and they kind of have to draw down everything that they remember. And of course, not everyone that does this is an artist, so yeah, the sketches are very iffy. And I will say, don't outright believe any of this until we see catalog scans. And another thing that definitely adds some legitimacy to this newest of the potentially fake leaks is the SD card. Like I said earlier, the silhouette image we had seemed to reveal officially that the collectibles were going to be some kind of SD cards, which definitely gives me Double vibes because Doubles had USB sticks. And well, this fake catalog scan image, potentially fake, I don't know, seems to have an image of a Rider SD card. However, I will say the SD card, whilst it may sound like an addition that makes it like sound more legit and everything because it fits with the silhouette, if anything, looking at it, the SD card itself looks kind of fake. The text looks very uneven, and it also looks very kind of plain. It's just a plain like blue navy color. I don't know if I like the look of that SD card, and I don't know if I like how real it looks, but that's some Kamen Rider Zero-One stuff. Do I think any of this is real? I think the sketches could be onto something. I don't know if I 100% believe these more recent supposed catalog scan images, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, that's basically it. I want everyone that watches this video to kind of make their own opinion and wait until we actually, get the catalog scans in about a week or so. Will any of these be correct? Will all of them be correct? Will none of them be correct? Who knows? Could be anything right now. Like I said, we won't know for certain until catalog scans are out, but that's kind of what makes this exciting. So yeah, that's a kind of update as to the state of the Kamen Rider Zero-One rumors and leaks. Interesting, basically. Not much to say other than that. It looks very, very, very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more.